Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Alexis and I am here to share with you some military advice, and also I'm answering a lot of questions from you all that you asked me over on Instagram. On my channel you can expect to see a lot of mommy lifestyle, military, cleaning, sometimes meal ideas. I haven't really been great about that, and just really the daily life of me and mom struggles and real life struggles and stuff like that. So if those are videos that you're interested in, then I hope you stick around after this video. But I just wanted to jump into this video. Probably going to be a lengthy one. If this is one of your first videos that you're clicking on, because I know these types of videos attract new followers, please don't forget to hit that red subscribe button if you are interested and like these kind of videos. But yeah, this video is probably going to be super long, so I'm going to jump right into it. These are all questions that you all asked me on Instagram. I'm going to have my Instagram up on the screen and also linked below if you want to follow me and participate in next time I do a Q&A. But I felt like there was so many questions that I was getting about military life and just things that I felt would be amazing to answer on camera, so that way other people can maybe get something out of it and benefit from it. So I'm just going to be reading those questions and then answering them in most honest, best way that I possibly can. So let's jump in. Sorry about the lighting. It is about 4 o'clock here now, and this was the only time that I had time to sit down and film this, so it might be a little bluish and not so super bright, but I'm working with what I got. Okay, we're gonna start off with the first question. So the first question is, I have heard some base housing are terrible / bad. What are your experiences from the places you've lived? Well, little backstory, we were stationed in Colorado for 3 years before we were stationed here at Fort Benning, which is Georgia. And so Colorado, we lived off the base twice. It's a long story, but basically moved every year that we were there. So we moved in 3 different houses. So as for on the base housing, we only lived there for 1 year on the base, and it was our final year there. And personally, I felt that the housing that we got put in, we were very stuffed because I hadn't had my son yet. We weren't even pregnant with him yet, but we knew we were going to be trying with him. And I talked to the lady at the front desk before we even got our house and said, we're probably going to try to have another baby. Do you think we'd get a house that would accommodate all 4 of us? And she was like, no, unless you're 20 weeks pregnant and you have a doctor's note, you will not be accommodated for a 4-bedroom house. So unfortunately, with my husband's rank at the time and however many kids we had, which was just my daughter and then us, we only got a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, which was crammed. And because then my son came eventually, and probably like within a month after that I was pregnant with him. So he was in, and we had all the baby stuff, you know, all the things that come with a baby all over the house, and it was just super tight. So the housing that we were assigned in Fort Carson, personally, with the rank that my husband was at the time, and you know, we were only technically counted for having 1 child at the time when we got the house. Yeah, it was really tight, and it wasn't a very cute house. It was very outdated, and I personally didn't love it. But I do know that there's houses on that base that are beautiful and they're renovated and changed, and it really depends on rank. So here in Georgia, we live in a really beautiful house. I love our house so much. I think it's one of the nicer houses for my husband's rank. And this, because a lot of people don't usually live at Fort Benning because it's more of a training post, I think they have nicer housing, and plus I think it's more widespread. So someone from an E1 to an I think someone from an E4 and beyond are able to live in this housing, so I think that is great. And then the other houses are okay from what I've seen. They're not, I wouldn't personally want them, but they're not horrible. They're just definitely outdated. These are definitely more renovated. And then there are other houses on this base that are very beautiful, and they're for, I want to say, E5 and above, and they are very nice. So from my experience, I think that the housing is not too bad. I mean, that's just my opinion. So this one says how to survive a deployment, and I feel like there's like a bunch of different variations of that in these question boxes that you guys asked me. But how to survive a deployment, I would just recommend keeping busy, kind of the same thing that I would say for a basic training. Just keep busy, binge watch shows, always like kind of look forward to making them a care package box because you can send them as often as you want. So it's really fun to get creative and like make the care package boxes. I would just say maybe go home, spend time with family, make some really great friends. If you have kids, get them involved in things so that way you're involved and you're staying busy. Honestly, the best thing I can say is stay busy. Maybe redo a bedroom in your home or do a DIY project. I think those are all great things to kind of survive a deployment. Also, I have a whole video that I did when my husband was deployed, and I will have that link below, and that is more detailed on how to survive a deployment. What do you find the easiest / cost-effective way to PCS new Army wife here? Well, hello, welcome to the crew. I personally think depending. Okay, so I really should have brought my husband in for this one, but he's doing something for work. He's doing schooling for work, but I personally like doing the move on our own. It depends, but it can cost you some money up front, but you kind of make a lot of money if you do it that way. We moved here on our own. We moved from Colorado to Georgia on our own, and we pocketed a lot of money. We got they provided us with a travel card, like a credit card, and basically that was paid for. That paid for our gas and the U-Haul and everything. I think we had like small expenses and stuff that we had to personally pay for, but we just turned our receipts in and they reimbursed us and even more. So I think it's better to do the move on your own, but that's kind of up to you depending how far you're going, and just up to you. I mean, a lot of people love to just be like, peace, I'm leaving, and then the Army picks up and comes in, and you could leave your stuff just like how it is in the drawers and they'll come in and pack it all for you. I personally am a control freak, and I rather just pack it all myself. Even if the Army was coming to take my stuff, I would still pack my stuff for them to put it in the truck. I don't know, that's just me, but I like the fact that we packed our own stuff. We packed our own stuff in the U-Haul, and then my husband drove it. I just felt way more comfortable with that. So that's what I think. I rather do it myself. And I think it is a little bit more cost effective. I mean, up front, it's a little maybe more expensive, but you make a lot of money from it. And I don't know. I think if you're trying to save a ton of money and you don't want to spend a dime, then obviously just let the Army do it for you, because then you don't have to pay anything. How do you cope with your husband's deployment? I'm stressed about it coming up. Similar answer to the one that I just answered, but like I said, it is stressful and it's scary. Just try and think positive and try to just enjoy the time that you have with them before they go, so that way you're spending lots of time with them, not dwelling on it. Yes, of course, it's gonna be something that's in both of your minds, but kind of try to make things really fun and exciting before he has to go, because then, you know, he can remember those memories while he's there. And I don't know, I just really think like build up your relationship and make it very strong before they go, because that is something that I know that a lot of men struggle with, or women or whoever that's being deployed struggle with while they're overseas, because they don't know everything that's going on back home. So just make them feel secure and make your relationship really strong. If you need to go to counseling, do that then before the deployment comes. And yeah. I love this question. I'm so glad this girl asked this. Okay, it says, what is your best advice for post-deployment, like support / what did you do to help, or what did help? So I mean, if your spouse is coming from a combat zone and they have PTSD or whatever, I don't know, because that didn't happen personally to me, but I think what's really great for when they come home is super supportive. Let them tell you what they want to tell you. Don't try and drag information out of them. Really try to connect back with them, and because it's so hard, they've been gone for however many months, and you do talk probably a lot, but it's just not the same when you're in the same place at the same time. You just don't have that physical connection and stuff. So I think really work on your all's relationship. It was really great when my husband got home from deployment. We were able to go on a marriage retreat, and I think that really helped bond us back together. We were able to have our kids go to a little daycare that they provided for a couple days. like we picked them up in between like meetings, but we were able to be alone without them for a little bit, and it was really nice to reconnect that way and learn about each other again. I think just talking honestly, that is the best way, and just to reconnect with your spouse. New milso. What is the first thing I should do when I get to post? The first thing you should do when you get to post is your spouse should bring all their paperwork to whoever they have to do, like turn in all their stuff to prove, you know, who they are and that you guys are married, marriage license. They're gonna have to do all that over again. But then after that, then you're able to look for housing, so you can decide if you want a house on the base, off the base. If you want a house on the base, then you would need the paperwork for that, and you can look at the houses. And I'm pretty sure if you wanted, what we did is you can get a hotel on the base, like there's a hotel provided on the base, and you can stay there for, I think it's like a couple, I don't know, it's like 2 weeks or something, and it's all expenses paid, which is just like, it's the room, you don't get anything else special. But yeah, so you would stay at the hotel maybe on the base if you wanted to. It's paid for already. I mean, I would, or you could get a hotel off the base, but and then you can find your house. You just start looking for houses. Your spouse will probably have to go in for a couple hours when they first get there, but then they'll have a lot of time off too, so that would be a good time to find where you're going to live. That's my personal opinion. I would want to know where I was going to live when I first moved to a base. Okay, my husband and I will be separated for 8 months this year. Any advice? So I feel like it's a lot of the same for deployment and separations. Staying busy is key. Getting yourself involved in something. If you've always or have really kind of put yourself on the back burner as for like the gym or anything like that, maybe get a gym membership and start that back up. Work on yourself. Maybe work on a new diet if you plan on trying change things up, because I know sometimes when your spouse isn't always on board with something, it's kind of hard for you to do it. So because I don't know, it's hard. So I feel like if you wanted to change something or do something different for you, you should do it now while they're gone, so that way you can really focus and hone in on who you are and what you like to do. So if you love to do crafts, then do lots of crafts, DIYs, go to like one of those painting classes. I've always wanted to do that. If you have kids, then maybe get them in some sports or some sort of class, so that way you can be involved and maybe meet other people that have the same interests / have the same lifestyle kind of as you, or can relate to you. I just think keeping yourself busy, watching lots of shows, binge watching, kind of the same situation as when they're deployed. I think it's a lot of the same answers as for deployment, but I think if you're wondering about what do I do for me and him, like is it going to be weird, I think work on your relationship before they go, so that way you know that you have a really strong relationship and he doesn't have to worry about you, or you don't have to worry about him, and you guys are really sturdy, because I think that can be really difficult, especially if you don't feel secure in your relationship. I think to really work on your relationship before they go. Dream duty station. Oh my gosh, that is such a good question. I don't know. It's so funny. Like I tell my husband that I'd like to go to Washington, but then it rains so much there. I don't know. I don't really have a dream duty station. Maybe just in Florida. That would be so nice to be able to be stationed in Florida on the beach somewhere. I don't think there's a duty station for Army. I think there is something in Pensacola, but I'm not sure. So, how do you deal with the other military wives who are all about rank and status? Personally, I've never met one that is about that, like that has brutally been like super honest and said that to my face. But I think like they're just insecure about something, like themselves or their relationship, or I don't know, because who cares? Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't change who you are as a person. You can be any rank, and you can be sweet and nice and kind, and you can be any rank, and you can be mean and ugly and disgusting. So I think it doesn't really matter, but I think that someone that cares about that stuff is not someone I want to be friends with. What is your biggest pet peeve of the Army? I think changing things at the drop of a hat, or not giving you notice, just like changing things without any notice. I think that is my biggest pet peeve. Is my husband staying in? Yes, currently he is going to be staying in. He plans on maybe doing recruiting soon, and yeah, he plans on staying in. I want him to stay in. I mean, obviously I hate that he is gone often and deployment is always an option, but I just really feel secure with it, and it's nice that I'm able to stay home with my kids. And yeah, so I just prefer the life. I really do enjoy being a military wife, and he gets to do what he loves and I get to do what I love, which is staying home with my kids. So yeah, I think he's gonna stay in for a little bit. He might even do forever, like 20 years or life, because then he would retire at 40, which is awesome because not many people can say they're retired at 40. What would your husband do civilian side? So if my husband was a civilian, he would probably do, actually, you know what? I'm gonna wait for him and answer that question. The question is, what would you do if you were a civilian?
Ooh.
Oh God, don't be lengthy with your answer.
I don't know. That's a hard one. Because all I know is Army. Oh, maybe a contractor?
Like
work for, no.
That's what people are gonna think though.
Like, you could contract and work for the Army as a civilian, make pretty good money, or I could work for the Union. Union has good job opportunities from what I hear. Or maybe, I don't know, Homeland Security.
Okay, and then
or
what?
Border Patrol.
Okay,
cool.
you're just, okay. Then I want to hear your answer. A dream duty station?
Dream duty station? Do we have one of those?
No, I didn't. I mean, I said Washington, maybe. Not that it's a dream. I said Florida. Like, it'd be nice to be stationed in Florida.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Being close to home. I mean, we're already pretty close to home, but if we were closer,
Okay.
pretty cool.
So you don't have one?
I mean,
Dream. Like, if you could go anywhere.
Dream.
That's actual duty station. That's what's hard. Like,
I don't know. I really like Fort Benning, and I really like Carson. I don't really like any other areas. I mean, this area is not the greatest, but we've been here to where we like know the area
yeah.
pretty well.
And then, what is your biggest pet peeve of the Army?
Dissemination of information.
The what? Why would you say it like that? This is when you become a military wife, you get all these weird words that come into your life, and you're like, speak English, please. Dissemination?
Dissemination. Dissemination.
Okay, so like information not being properly put out.
Well, it's not like properly, it's just the time of it. Like everything's last minute.
That's what I said too.
Everything is last minute.
That's what I
And then there's a lot of times where you're just like the saying, hurry up and wait. You get to work, you rush, like your leadership's like, oh, I need you here right now, and this and that. And you're like, all right, so you're like rushing, getting back to work, and you're like, ah, I'm here. And you're like, all right, stand by. And your next thing you know, you're waiting your call for company area for hours on end, and you're like, oh, so basically you showed up here for nothing. And then they're like, all right, you're good to go, see you later, you know. And you're like, wow, okay, that's, ooh, all right. Okay. I could just go on.
I know you could, but all right, thank you. Really? Okay, this one, I love this question. It says, how would you feel if your kids dated a soldier? Oh my God, like, I mean, I would get it, but I would be sad because I know how they're going to be gone all the time, and I know, like, but also I would like it because I would get them and they would know that I understand what they're going through and stuff. So I don't know how I'd feel. I mean, I don't even want to think about that, them dating anyone, but I definitely feel like it'd be really hard, but also it'd be nice because I could relate with them. Is the #1 thing you'd change about the military? Oh my gosh, there's so many things I would change, but #1 is having like your spouses not deploy. Oh my God, that's so dumb because they have to, like, that's the job. But I don't know, if I could honestly really change one thing, it would be that they wouldn't have to deploy. If you are married, what rank do they have to be to get base housing? You can be any rank and you can get base housing as long as you're married. So if you're not married, you live in the barracks, which is like kind of like dorm rooms setup. But if you're married, you any rank can have housing. You would just have different housing than other ranks. Not a question, but I am new Army wife and you've been a lifesaver. Oh my gosh, that is so sweet. I'm so happy that I'm helping people. I get messages all the time letting me know that like I've helped them in some way, and I never thought that, like I thought that my channel would really help others, but I didn't realize the impact that it would have. And I'm so thankful that I started doing military content, because that is where a lot of you guys come from, my military videos, and then you stick around for my other videos because you really get to know me and enjoy me. But yeah, like I really love that I'm helping you guys, and I wish I had something like this when I was in your position, because it would be really helpful. Your husband planning on getting out anytime soon? PS, I love your videos. Thank you so much. I just answered that. No, he doesn't plan on getting out. Does having kids make it harder? I think so. Being in the, I mean, it makes it harder and easier. I think it makes it harder on him, but easier on me, because they distract me and like keeps me busy, something to do while he's gone. Like I have a purpose. So I think it makes it easier and harder, but I wouldn't change having kids for anything. What kind of moves do you prefer? Having the military move you or doing it alone? I kind of already answered that in the beginning. I'd rather have us move ourselves. Has it been hard making friends? I've talked about this before, but yeah, it can be hard making friends, but also I just think it's the type of person that I am. I only really like to, I don't care about the quantity of my friends. I care about the quality. I don't want a friend that's like a wacko. Like I just want, and then be like, yay, I have friends. I want someone that's actually a good friend, someone that I can confide in, someone that I can talk to and just have a good time with. So for me personally, it has been hard finding friends, but I don't mind it, because the friends that I do find, I find quality in them and I don't care about numbers. Does the show Army Wives really paint a picture of what life is like for military wives / moms on post? Thanks. I watched that show so long ago, like when my husband first joined, and not really, but kind of like the FRG and stuff. Like I think that FRG that was shown in that show was more of like super high rank, you know. So for me, it doesn't really work that way. And it's funny, it's true that, you know, you have a bunch of different friends from different, you know, areas of the military. So the one I think was in, like, her husband was in Delta, the other one was infantry, and like then her son was infantry. So yeah, I think it does, but it doesn't. I personally, I mean, I don't know, yes and no. I have to watch the show again. I can't really remember, but I feel like it does and it doesn't. Obviously there's exaggerated parts in it, but it kind of does. So that is everything for this video. I answered all the questions that you guys asked me, and I am so thankful that you guys even came through with a bunch of questions, and really good questions, may I add. They were super great and super informative, and I know they're gonna help a ton of people out there, and I hope I answered your question as good as I possibly could. I really tried to have good answers for you guys. If you like to see more military content, then let me know down in the comments below more videos that you'd like to see from me, or just in general any types of videos that you'd like to see from me. But also I have a whole playlist that I will have a link below, and it is my military life kind of playlist. So it is all things that you probably want to see if you're into that. So I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if this is your first video, or if you haven't subscribed yet and, you know, pulled the trigger and really just subscribe to me, because I know you want to, but you're just like, I don't know, or you don't know how. All you have to do is make an account, hit subscribe, and you're in. So I will see you guys in my next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys.